If you're starting a web design business or a digital marketing agency, should you present it as an agency and talk about your team and the things that we can do? Or would it be better to present yourself as more of an independent digital marketing consultant and you say, this is what I can do and these are my credentials? Well, let's talk about the pros and cons of both because I get this question all the time. But then I'm going to give you a third option that I actually think is way better than either of these other two. And when we get there, I think you'll see how it's much more effective. But let's go through the pros and cons of all of them and you can see what's going to work best for you. So I think most people have this knee-jerk reaction that I need to present myself as a digital marketing agency because I don't want to seem too small. It feels like if I was an agency, then it would be more substantial. I'd be more capable of handling larger projects. You can offer a wider range of services. And like if I'm going to be competing against other agencies, I want to be seen kind of on an equal playing field. So I'll be an agency too. But the problem is it's a little bit misleading because like if you're the only person in the business, then the team is really just an outsourced team of other freelancers. And that causes two problems. One problem is it's hard to keep the team together because they've got their own project cycles and their own cash flow issues and their own leads to worry about. And it's like, and they might even get hired full time to do something, or they might quit and do something else. And so it's difficult to keep a consistent team. So now you've got workflow issues. And then the other problem is if you can't rely on the team consistently, then you have a problem delivering consistent results to the client. So it's like, for those reasons, I just feel like that's kind of a deal breaker for me. Like I wouldn't want to do it that way. So then you have the second option, which is, well, what if instead of that, I present myself as more of like an independent consultant where I talk about like my degrees and certifications and my personal credentials. And maybe part of that is I do have access to a network of other people that we can bring in if we need to, but the emphasis is not on the team, the emphasis is on you personally. And I think that there's some good benefits for that because like you're more accurately describing what you actually do and you have the ability to highlight what's special about you personally. Like what degrees do you have? What certifications? What awards? Like what makes you as valuable as you can be, which oftentimes gets overlooked in favor of like what does the team do, like if you try to position yourself as an agency. So by positioning yourself as an independent consultant, you can really highlight your own value a little bit more. So I think that's kind of nice. And another thing too is you avoid competing head-to-head with other agencies. Like by presenting yourself as an independent consultant, you're kind of carving out this new space that's offering a more personalized, one-on-one kind of independent experience compared to working with a larger agency. And I think some people would like that, and that would kind of let you stand out in a new and different way, which is why I prefer the independent consultant approach over the agency approach, assuming that you're the only person in the agency for those reasons. But it also has some problems. So the downsides of presenting like as an independent consultant is there's this perceived increased risk, I think. Like when clients look at you as an individual person and they think, well, you know, like what if you go to the beach and decide not to come back because you just want to sell jet skis or whatever on a tropical island or whatever. So like I think to some degree that's, you know, there's a perceived increased risk. It feels maybe it's a little less valuable than getting access to a full-on agency. But then there's this internal problem, which is like, what if you grow? Like, what if you start out as branding yourself as almost like a personal brand, independent consultant, but then things grow and you bring on more people and you start hiring a team and then you actually are a legit agency. Well, then you got to rebrand, right? And then you kind of lose all the momentum of your initial brand as you rebrand into a full-on agency. And then that's a problem for your marketing and your lead flow and everything. So like, that's why I don't really like the independent consultant idea. So then you say, well, okay, well, if I'm not going to be an agency with a team and I'm not going to be an individual with myself, well, what is the other option? Well, the third option is something that I see almost nobody talking about or thinking about or even doing. And it's position your business as a product and then build up the brand around the product. And if you do that, I think you'll have a lot of really, really strong benefits. The biggest benefit of all is when you think about the purpose of why someone's hiring you. So like, for example, in the agency model, the purpose of hiring you is to get access to your team and the expertise that your team has. Well, if you're an independent consultant, well, then the purpose of hiring you is to get access to you personally and the certifications and awards and degrees and the experience that you have. But if you position as a product, the purpose of hiring you is to get access to the solution. right? It doesn't matter who implements the solution. It's I want the fix for my problem. And that is a much better way to get leads and onboard high-paying clients than to try to make your client do like this connect the dots thing. So like if you're an agency or an independent consultant, then what your client's doing is that he's like looking at all the different details that you're presenting and like collecting these dots and then trying to draw the picture themselves to see, it's like, is this really what I want? Whereas if you present as a product, then you say, well, this is the problem we solve, we've got the solution, and you're giving them the full picture right up front. And that's so much more effective. So like right off the bat, the marketing positioning of your business as a product is much better for generating leads, much better for increasing the perceived likelihood of success on behalf of your client, which is why you get more clients at a much higher price. And then on top of that, you can show case studies. So you can say, well, if you're having these problems, we've got this product that solves that issue. And look, these other people are doing it right now and getting the same exact results that you're looking for. So that increases the perceived likelihood of success for the client too. And then you create a market of one, because who else has this product? It's like this proprietary system that only you have. So you don't have to worry about competing against other agencies or competing against other consultants. It's like you've got a product. So that helps. And then the value is associated with the results, not the size of the team. It's like, it doesn't matter who implements it. It doesn't matter if it's you. It doesn't matter if it's a team of freelancers. It doesn't matter if it's a team of employees. It's like people just want the results from the solution. So what that means is, in the beginning, you can do it all yourself. You can implement everything on your own. Then as you grow, maybe you bring in some freelancers to kind of help you out, so you have more of a remote team or something like that. And then if you grow even bigger than that, you can bring on full-time employees. And so like, it doesn't matter how big the business is. And so what that means is you can start small, grow bigger, and you never have to rebrand. You can always keep the momentum going behind the marketing behind your business when you position it as a product or a productized version of your services. So I think that's a really big idea. And again, the biggest point of all is it keeps the client's attention on getting access to the solution to the problem that they're experiencing. And so when you have that in place, it's much better than them guessing whether or not your team has the knowledge to fix their problem on some sort of a creative, consultancy sort of basis, or like you as an individual consultant, like, do you have the creativity to solve the problem? It's like, I don't know. But like, if you show the products, like, this is the product that does the thing that you want, these people are doing it, that's so much better for getting much higher paying leads and just a higher number of leads. Like, everything about it is better in that direction, but I don't see hardly anybody doing it. So if you would like to see an example of what this looks like, check out this next video. It's about how to build a niche website. And so like, I'm taking all of the digital marketing and web design services that most people like you and me offer and bundling it up into this productized version of your business. And you can check out this video right here and see exactly how it works. Wait, one more thing. If you position as a product, you will have much higher margins on your work than if you're trying to do hourly rates or do like an agency fee or whatever. And if you have higher margins, you'll be way more profitable. And that's a major thing to think about. And the productized version of your business will give you the highest margins compared to being an agency or an independent consultant. Okay, now check out this next video and you can see an example of how it works.